Hi, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, and I'm joined here on my left today by Arlene Batishil, the founder and co-creator of GoGo Gear. Now, Arlene, you're here today to discuss your brand new line of product, which is specifically designed for spring of 2010 for the women motorcycle rider.
You bet.
Now, real quick, what is your tagline that sums up your line so perfectly?
Safety never looked so go-go good.
So safety never looks so go-go good. And to someone who's just learning your brand, who's actually has seen it for the last few months in development, is excited, it just started being rolled out. We just started pulling it into RevZilla, and we're currently shipping, all 4 items in the line. For us, really, we looked at the women rider on 2 wheels, the scooter girl, that's also a woman on a motorcycle, and said, what are their big gripes? And we think you've nailed them. It's high fashion, it's functional, it's protective. Arlene, I know there are 4 items. There's the trench in 2 colors, the military jacket, and the hologram, which are now available. Why don't you take me through the universal components that are going to set your product apart, compared to what else is on the market?
This is a big complaint for most women. They're
Okay.
in men's jackets, cut smaller, pulled in at the waist, maybe it's something tied here, and they just simply don't fit. So our jackets are designed with sizing. This is very important for women. Our sizing ranges anywhere from size 2 to 24, which is very
Wow.
uncharacteristic of outerwear because you're typically in small, medium, large, extra
Yeah.
large, what have you, and especially for plus size women, they're getting into the 2 and 3 extra large, and it couldn't be any more unflattering. And the other advantage is that each of our jackets, it's cut a little bit different, and the measurement chart is a little bit different. So a woman should be able to find one of our styles that will fit her perfectly, as opposed to if I have larger
Sure.
hips and I'm normally a small, I'm going into a medium, and then what happens is the upper part of the jacket's too big, the sleeves now become big, and you lose the safety value of the jacket
Sure.
in the sleeve area because now the armor is flinging around in your sleeve, and that's another feature of our jacket.
So not only have you homed in on sizes that women are typically used to correlating themselves with, it's not
regular clothing.
normal guy, alphanumeric, small, medium,
Yes.
large. To talk about the subtleties in sleeve, in shape, in hip to bust ratio, I guess,
Yeah.
as you go across the different, I guess all 4 jackets
Absolutely.
in the current lineup. It's definitely something that once we touch on, it'll become crystal clear. But I mean, right out of the gates, it's something that at RevZilla we've seen no one do.
Right.
No one has put that kind of thought in women's sizing. So let's talk about the fashion side of things.
Sure.
It's fabrics that we haven't seen anywhere else in this marketplace
Right.
before. But I guess you're wearing this is the trench
This
in
is
the
the gray
gray right
trench
now.
jacket, yep.
Tell me about the exterior of the jacket.
The most common reaction to the jacket when people see it is they're surprised that the fabric is even more beautiful than what you see either on TV or on in print material.
Sure.
Because there's actually a small pattern of very tiny little squares on the whole fabric, which changes sort of the dynamic of the fabric as opposed to just being a plain gray fabric. It's also a technical fabric. It is a 3-ply fabric, which means the outer layer of the fabric is a knit material.
Okay.
It's bonded to that knit material, which is what makes the fabric waterproof. And underneath that is another layer of waterproof fabric. So we start out with a 3-ply fabric that
Sure.
also is, to a certain extent, abrasion resistant.
Sure.
So it's a very robust technical fabric that we're using on the outside. It's extremely soft, it's very flexible, it's generous, and it's really attractive in the jacket.
But then you think about the utilitarian aspect of the motorcycle universe. You think about what the more educated rider is thinking about, saying, hey, 40 miles an hour on a scooter, a bicycle, or a motorcycle, I hit the ground, pavement's pavement.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, once you get past the waterproof liner, which is going to keep the elements out, tell me about the protective chassis underneath.
Sure, absolutely. And with any jacket that you're wearing that's textile, you have to have it be abrasion resistant, and it needs to have armor in it.
Sure.
And for us, we've got armor that's CE approved.
Okay.
It's in the elbows, it's in the shoulders, and it's in the back. And we use a back armor that has a higher CE rating than a
Sure.
lot of armor that's being put in some of your most commonly known brand name jackets. And we did that because it's very difficult when people see our jackets for them to believe that these are legitimate motorcycle jackets, because that's not the way motorcycle jackets are supposed to look for anybody.
Sure.
Therefore, people are inclined to sort of dismiss it. Well, the fact that we've chosen armor that is extremely robust, and especially in the back, which is more robust than most, we want women to have the most protection possible, and that's why we've chosen the armor that we have that we put into the jacket. In addition, there's an entire layer of fabric inside the jacket. Underneath this waterproof fabric, there's a whole layer of 600 denier abrasion resistant fabric.
Sure.
That is kind of what you see in a lot of textile jackets. It's the outer shell. Well, that shell is actually the inside of the jacket, and then there's another lining beyond that, so that we're hiding all of the things
Sure.
that make jackets for women look unattractive.
Sure.
It's the fabric and then the armor that really kill it for women, because they're just pretty ugly.
You could go down on this. You have a 600D abrasion resistant chassis underneath that's saying, hey, this is as abrasion resistant as any of the 600D textiles that are out there. We just sexied it up.
And it's
the
even more
inside and out.
Yeah, it's even more abrasion resistant because you've got a 3-ply layer of fabric on top of that, and then you've got the lining inside, which effectively means you've got 5 layers of fabric between the pavement and your skin. So by the time you
Sure.
get done sliding, you've got 5 layers that you have to go through before
Sure.
you're going to start experiencing road rash. And that's not, you can't say the same for other textile jackets, because inside a textile jacket you will see a mesh. It's not even a solid piece of fabric,
You're right.
regardless of what kind of a fabric it is. So really, you are sitting there with one piece of fabric between your skin and that pavement. Let me comment on one thing about the outer layer of fabric
Okay.
and the abrasion resistance. I have the jacket that I will show you today. I have a test jacket, and I threw myself down a hill 50 feet, and I was pulled behind a motorcycle in the jacket to test the abrasion resistance of the fabric. You'll see that there were tears in this outer layer of waterproof fabric and no tears in the abrasion resistant fabric. And I'm 130 pounds, I'm being dragged 80 feet behind a motorcycle. Granted, I wasn't going down the freeway, but the reality is dragging 130 pounds of dead weight 80 feet, you would think that there's going to be more abrasion in the fabric than you actually saw. The other thing is that there was no tearing at the seams. And so you've got multiple layers of fabric that all have to be sewn together
Sure.
multiple times. And so there's a lot more strength built into it and in the engineering of the jackets, but the beauty of our line and the whole intent of it was make all of those things that you see in other jackets go away, so a woman can get on her bike, be looking great when she's riding, get off her bike and only have to worry about her hair. I mean, if I could solve the helmet hair
That's
problem,
great.
I'd be a billionaire by now. However,
Sure.
but that's really what we want to do, because a lot of women, they ride to work, they ride out for dinner, they ride to coffee, wherever they go, and they don't want to deal with switching out their gear because they need to be appropriately dressed when
Sure.
they go where they're going. And this applies to a lot of guys too. And so if you could have a jacket that you get off your bike, you walk on your way, nobody knows you're wearing protective gear, then we've really accomplished what we set out to do here. It's the fashion first, engineer the safety features into it second, and then we've got success.
So Arlene, so we've covered at the highest level the fashion, the form, the functionality factor. Break into some of the creature comforts, because I know that one of the things you guys have done really well is the details.
You bet. Okay, well, probably first and foremost, the one thing that everyone is really excited about with our jackets is our wind cuffs. And if I slip up my,
Put it down
Sleeve here.
Come in tight here.
well, let me do it here.
Okay.
If you see this here, you will see that we have a wind cuff in here, and it's sewn into here so that you can prevent the air from blowing up the sleeve. And it's a big problem for everybody, even guys. Even with the Velcro straps around and everything, there's nothing that prevents the wind like having a wind cuff. It stays in place with the thumb hole, or you simply take it out, you put your glove over it, or you've got your thumb in it and you put it inside your gloves. The reason we even have these in here is we were doing so much research on what's needed in gear in Europe, because we're going to have a big market in Europe for
Sure.
these jackets, and you have to really take into consideration the weather conditions that they're in, because they're probably a lot more severe for a longer period of time than what we experience here in the US. And so this was one feature that was you couldn't send a jacket over there without it having this in it. 4 jackets that we have available right now, those 4 all have similar reflective features
Gotcha.
to them. And we have actually incorporated the reflective features into the design of the jacket, so that, for example, what you see here in the lapel area, this is all reflective fabric. So going this way, the light hits you here, you're going to be glowing in the dark in this area. And we incorporated the reflective features strategically so that a woman has a choice for when she wants to use them or doesn't. And it may be that you want them visible all the time,
Sure.
but sometimes, you know, you don't want to be glowing in the dark everywhere you go, especially during the daytime when
Sure.
you've gotten off your bike and you're going into your office. You don't want to draw that much attention to yourself. So what we've done is we have the reflective lapels here, and this goes like this, prevent the wind from coming in, so you're riding like this if it's cold.
Sure.
And if you'd be kind enough, lift up my collar.
Sure.
And I'll turn around.
Go ahead. Why don't you
And
come in tight here and check this guy out.
What you've got here on the back is you've got all reflective fabric here. And what's so important about this is if you think about the position of truck drivers and bus drivers, they're sitting up high, your tail light's down here, and they're
easy
not
to
going to
miss.
see you.
Yep.
And so especially for women who are riding on the back of bikes, this is really helpful for them. You know, they're not going to wear a construction vest for high
Sure.
visibility. They need something else. So it's a great reflective feature that's part of the design. It just fits with the rest of the reflective qualities
Yeah,
of the jacket.
I'm looking at reflective cuffs too
Yes,
as well.
here we go. You also have the ability to flip the cuff up, and we've put reflective fabric here because a lot of people will use, well, I should have done the other one, but you'll get the idea. They will use hand signals when they're turning.
Absolutely.
And
Especially in the city.
at night, here you go, you've got this reflective fabric that's moving with your hand, and the person behind you is more likely to see you there.
Sure.
In addition, we've given you the ability to flip the belt over, and this is, I think, probably my most favorite feature of the jacket, is that you have 360-degree visibility simply with flipping over the belt. You can use it as you see fit. A lot of women who have our jackets already, they just leave it on.
Let me help you here.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
It's hard to see my backside.
Sure.
A lot of women just wear the jacket like this all the time because they want to be visible, but it's also another cute addition to the jacket. So you could flip
Looks
it up
great.
here.
So all 4 jackets are going to have a reversible reflective belt.
Yep.
And then I would believe they're all going to have the cuffs that are
Yes.
reflective. And then depending on the jacket, will they all have the reflective collar? Or
It'll be in different places.
In different
the trench
places.
jackets,
Okay.
because they're cut with this type of a collar or this type of an opening.
Sure.
And like that, we've put it there. Plus, it's on the back here.
Sure.
And on the military jacket, it's on the inside of the collar, so it can flip down, and you'll see it on the outside. So you get the same effect. It's just positioned differently on the jacket because of the design of the jacket.
All right, Arlene. So now let's finish this video with a high-level walkthrough of the, I guess it's 3 jackets, but there are a total of 4 styles. It's the trench in 2 colors, the military, and then the hologram. Let's walk through each of those at 1,000 feet, and then if somebody wants to take the next step, they can always watch the 4-minute in-depth breakdown of each one of those videos on RevZilla
Sure.
TV. So let's start off with the trench jacket.
Okay. And we have our black trench jacket, fully waterproof, abrasion resistant, reflective details in the cuffs and the reverse side of the belt, the collar, extra long sleeves. We have our black military jacket, fully waterproof, fully abrasion resistant, reflective details inside the cuffs, on the reverse side of the belt, and in the collar and wind cuffs to prevent the air from coming in. We have the gray trench jacket, fully waterproof, abrasion resistant, CE approved armor in the elbows, shoulders, and back, reflective details on the reverse side of the belt, in the cuffs, the collar, extra long sleeves, and wind cuffs inside to prevent the air from coming in. We have our hologram jacket, all the same features as the military jacket at the beginning, but the outer layer of fabric is a beautiful waterproof fabric.
So as I mentioned earlier, that's going to be the full line at 1,000 feet. We do have some additional product videos in depth on each one of the products on RevZilla TV, on the product pages on RevZilla.com. Arlene, at 1,000 foot, we're really excited about your product, really excited about the GoGo Gear product line. It's a spectacular product that no one has even attempted to do. You know, motorcycles in fashion for women, way too many men playing in this world that probably don't know what a woman really wants. So it's awesome that you have come out of the gates and put together a great line that we really think fits a great need. So many more videos available on RevZilla.com. If you have any questions about sizing, the jackets, if you need any help running through the line, give us a ring at 877-792-9455 or shoot us an email at cs@RevZilla.com. We're happy to help. Arlene, again, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching RevZilla TV.